Hi, Chris here from the Thomann YouTube channel. Welcome back. Look who we have in the studio. Greg Koch.
Hey,
everybody.
How's it going?
Yay!
It's good to be here.
It's awesome. You took some time and you traveled all the way from wherever you were.
Yes,
far away.
we were in Holland yesterday, and we drove a great drive in the rain last night. But here we are,
It's a lot of
ready
fun.
to rock.
Yeah.
And that coffee machine that you guys have here is roaring. And so we're ready to rock. I'm all amped up, Chris. Ready to go. Exactly.
All right, so there are a couple of reasons why you paid us a visit.
Yes.
You have a new amp coming up.
Correctamundo.
And you have some fresh and tasty and chunky pickups.
That's
on your guitar, right?
Correctamundo. Yes,
All right.
indeed.
So
there it is.
it's blue.
Koch, as you can see, the name is right on there. And what's interesting about this is that a couple of years ago at Music Messe, the Fishman booth, where I was doing some stuff for the pickups, was right across from the Koch booth. And every time I'm at trade shows and stuff, I see the Koch booth and I kind of go in there and like, I've played the amps before when I would be traveling. Occasionally there would be Koch amps to use, and I'd be like, well, these are really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Always a sterling reputation. Every time you talk about everybody about Koch amps, like, are you in relation to the Koch amps? It's like, no, but they're great amps and da 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 da. So they're, everyone always said great things about the amps and the company. So I kind of walked across, and Dolph Koch and his wife kind of came over, and she had seen me play at Music Messe, and I'd given her a CD or whatever, and so little did I know that they were actually kind of fans, and they're like, oh, we're fans of your playing, and da-da-da-da. I was like, well, wouldn't it be funny if I played one of your amps? And so they allowed me to use a Twin Tone 3 for that for that Music Messe.
Yeah.
And myself and Larry Fishman, everyone was like, that amp sounds really good. I'm like, yeah. And what I liked, it kind of had everything on it that I like to use. I like to have, a clean channel, but a clean channel with a boost. And also the ability to just use that clean channel where you turn it up and have it start getting nasty, and then just back the volume up and then clean it up. So you could do that with the twin tone, and then you can go over to the lead sound, and the lead sound was also very usable with turning on so it would be slightly distorted or a little bit more distorted than your clean channel would be if you want. Back off on the volume, turn it up, and then you'd have a boost on top of that. And then you could have a gain boost on top of that. So you had all these different ways of running it, and I thought, well, this is really cool. And so I enjoyed using that amp. And then we started talking about, well, what would you do different if we would do like a signature amp? And I said, well, I really like the functionality of what you already have going on, but I like 210s. I've always been a Vibrolux guy.
Oh, yeah. And
I like a tight low end with the 10s. I just like the way they throw. Tight low end, that sounded weird. Sorry. And
I was like, should I smile?
Feel free. Run with it. So we started messing around with and there was a few different things that I had mentioned. I liked the reverb on the other Koch amps, but I just wanted the option to shape the reverb a little bit more. Tonally, and maybe have a little bit more reverb if I wanted to. And so I said, those, the old school Fender reverbs, the independent reverb tanks, would always have three controls. It had the mix, the dwell, and the level, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And also the Vibra King had that. Yeah. And it was just like the reverb that took over the world. So I thought, man, if we could have that reverb on board, that would be awesome. So okay, well, we can work on that. And I said, and the other thing I love is that in the early 60s, the Brown era Fender amps had harmonic vibrato. There was a buddy of mine back home that made an amp for me that had that on there as well. And I love it because I've always liked rotating speaker sounds, and I've used various different rotating speaker simulators over the years. And I like Univibes. Well, this kind of does both of those things, and it's analog and it sounds great. And if you could have it right on the amp, let the good times roll.
All right.
So I said, man, if we could make that happen, that would really be something. And then I started talking to him about, if there was a way to just, they had a situation where you could have like a boost for the clean channel, or in that same boost, or you could change that increment for the lead channel as well. Okay. But I said, for the clean channel, it would be great if there was something to just add just a little bit of warmth if you wanted to the clean sound, in terms of like a tube compression-y type thing, or be able to just you know, just have a slightly different thing as far as a boost for that first channel. And they started mentioning this OTS situation. So there's actually a little power amp section, a 1/2 watt power amp section that's in the circuit that's line level that you add, like adding a tube screamer or effect pedal of your choice. And this has turned out to be such a cool thing because I've been really into using fuzz lately. And when I add that in, especially to the lead channel, it sounds like a fuzz. This is the clean channel.
Show us the sounds, exactly, yeah.
And as you can see, I have everything flat here on the clean channel. I got the drive at 12, volume, and of course bass, middle, and treble at 12.
Does it really react like a drive, or is it more like old Mesas, which is like an input level-ish, like a subtle drive?
It's a subtle drive. Okay. It doesn't really get nasty. It's just nice and
compressed.
Creamy. Yeah, a little bit compressed. Tele into a clean sound, getting that slightly compressed sound without having any spiky stuff.
Yeah. It's very fast.
Yes.
You can hear it popping
immediately. Exactly. And I like a fast, that's why I like these pickups so much. I like a fast attack. I like ash bodies. I like maple necks. People go, oh, the wood doesn't have anything to do with it. Well, if we can all agree that you seem to get a faster attack with maple and ash, then we're good. Okay, so I like that kind of faster. It's very dynamically sensitive. I really lay into it. It just kind of compresses a little bit more. So it's all going to be foot switchable, but I can add this OTS feature to this channel. The front panel here has all the main amp controls in terms of all your controls for your clean channel and your overdrive. And there is a drive and volume and a gain and volume for each channel, and then there's a master volume and presence control on the top, and then the OTS control is on the top, the harmonic vibrato, which we should also mention we can change into a regular tremolo as well. Yeah. And then also on the top here, you have your choice of where you want the tremolo or vibrato to be, either pre-reverb or post-reverb, which is cool. It just sounds a little different. And also there's a gain control, so you can actually, that tremolo circuit can actually be like another increment of gain, which is crazy. And then you have the three control reverb on top there as well. So it's 2 panels, and everything is going to be controllable by a foot switch, 5-button foot switch.
That's nice and compact still. Yeah. For so many features.
Exactly. So anyway, cool. So I just turned the OTS on. Now I've got the gain on about 3 o'clock, and I think the output or the volume of it at about 1 or 2 o'clock. So this is on the clean channel still. The volume down. It cleans up really nice. It does that both on the clean channel with the OTS and the lead channel as well. It cleans up really nice. The pickups have something to do with it, but even a standard tele tone pot or whatever guitar you're using is going to clean up really nice with this amp. That's another great thing about the Koch amps in general, is that they do that. Wow. So anyway, that one channel is like worth the price of admission, right?
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Like, if you had this clean channel and with the OTS on it, and that's it, I would be still satisfied.
Well, there may be something coming down the line. A smaller version.
A slight hint
with just that. Yes, yes. So there'll be different iterations of this thing. This is the big daddy that has everything on it, but there may be incremental versions coming down the line.
Looking forward.
So I'm going to just turn the OTS off again and just have the clean sound, and I'm going to add that harmonic vibrato. Now I can make it be a little more. I could put the the depth up more and turn the volume up a little bit more. I just love that sound. It's glorious. It does that univibe / Leslie thing.
It's way more subtle somehow, more musical, and you can use it actually in whichever stuff, you know, like rhythm, solo.
Exactly.
More of a funk stuff or more of a, you know, Hendrixy vibe.
Right, exactly.
I really don't get it why they stopped using that.
Well, it's expensive, and there's a lot of tubes.
Now I get it.
It's expensive to do, and there's a lot of tubes.
More complicated.
But Dolph Koch figured out a way to do it with less tubes.
Oh, wow.
And to make it happen. So, right, Edwin?
Yeah.
So he was able to make it happen without the huge expense. And then if I hit this button, it goes to a regular tremolo. Now there is a little bit of a pop going between. You hear a little bit of it, but we thought
that's all right.
I think it's cooler to have the option of going between tremolo and vibrato, and if you have to deal with a split second of a pop, you know, like, I think you'll get over it.
You should not change like mid-song.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise, it's like.
Here we go. The other one is brighter sounding. So I just love that sound. It's just, I mean, that's the kind of sound you put on when you're at home and just kind of hours go by. So that's a glorious thing. So, and then you can, just for kicks and giggles, let's just hear what it's a real subtle thing. But this is what it sounds like when I have it reverb and then harmonic vibrato. It's almost like you get a little more of a scoop low thing going on. It's really subtle. You can tell more with gain.
It's warmer a little bit.
Yeah,
but
it's a subtle thing. It's kind of a cool thing to have.
I guess it depends on the settings. If you use way more reverb,
right,
makes a bigger difference probably.
Now, the reverb I have right now is I've got, well, let's just mess up with putting the dwell up a little bit more. Right now I have it on about, just a little bit more than a quarter up. I've got the tone at about 1 o'clock and the volume at 12. So let's just try bringing the dwell up a little bit more and the volume up a little bit more. Here we go. Cool about it is still the fundamental is not drenched. You know what I mean? You can still hear the main fundamental note, and then the rest just happens, which I really, really like. Because you know, on a lot of other reverbs that come stock with reissue amplifiers, you have it on 3, and if you go above that, it's the reverb that took over the world. So this one's a very subtle thing, and you can use it to be as much or as little as you want. Sometimes I just like a little bit of verb, and so that's just clean channel. Then you got the OTS, you got the reverb, and you've got the, of course, the tremolo or the vibrato. So now let's go over to the lead channel. good, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it cleans up great too. So if I'm just on that particular channel, so on this channel, we got a few different options. We can add the gain boost, which is more like a conventional thicker overdrive. So if I do that, again, we're on the 25 watt mode here. It sounds, it's still plenty loud enough, right? So that is the lead channel with the boost. Now I want to go back to the regular lead sound, and I'm going to add the OTS instead. And I can do OTS and boost as well, which I've done many times. So here's just the lead sound. Add the OTS now. Sounds more like a fuzz. Sounds good, right?
It has that mid-range, this
exactly.
You know,
now if we
crispy.
put the fuzz, or I shouldn't say the fuzz, the OTS, with the boost, it sounds good when you turn down the... Cleans up pretty nice.
Even though you're full on. Like,
yeah, I got everything
is
on. Everything but the kitchen sink is on at this point. Got the OTS on and the boost as well. So as you can see, there's a number of different ways of running it, all of which are great.
Yeah.
And again, that's on the 25 watt mode. So when I turn it on full power, the staying clean on the gains thing is even more pronounced.
All right.
You know, so when we'll do it a little bit here, but we'll try not to deafen ourselves.
That's all right. Just let's check if it.
So now I'm on that lead channel. I haven't touched these controls at all. All I've done is turn on the full power. Okay. So you can see right away the cleans with the volume down on the guitar is more. And then if I add the OTS, oh no, I had the OTS on. That sounds even better. Let's turn it off one. The OTS again, just so we hear the that's beef, you know? Okay, now let's turn OTS off. Lead channel with boost. like the idea. Now let's put both on and see what we got. So now we got boost, OTS, and lead. Savage. And we're deaf. But you know what? It's worth the price. It's worth the price. Good, because I've got to work on this here, because this one's already deaf.
So that you're again in balance.
Yeah, I got to balance them out. I got to have ringing in both ears in order to make life better. I don't recommend that, kids. But you know, it's too late now. Too late to turn back now. Got to ring it on the left ear.
Gotta grab myself together.
But you can see it's got everything.
It's a hard job.
It's got everything but the kitchen sink out. Yeah. You'll hear a ton of low end coming from these.
It's crazy. This is exactly what I wanted to say. With turning it on full power, you of course have more volume. Whoa!
Right.
But it's more of everything. Actually.
Exactly.
You have more bass end, more top
highs.
end.
Exactly.
Actually, a little more modern, I would say. More wide sounding.
Yes.
So it's like if you're into this mid pushy sound and that time thing, you know, turn it half power and gun it.
Right.
You have a sound. You put it full power. You have your way bigger sound than actually the box looks like. You know.
Well, and some of the reasons for that, which were explained to me that I didn't realize, is that it's got a thinner baffle, and the baffle is actually glued to the cabinet, so it just resonates more, and it just creates this, you know, more thunderous low end.
It's crazy.
And so I love it, and I have like Sonic Blue. I've got a couple of custom shop guitars I've had forever that are, you know, transparent Sonic Blue.
Yeah.
And I like what Sonic Blue does over the years. It gets more of kind of a quasi surf green after it's been tortured for a while. So it's a color that matures, shall we say. Yeah. So, and then we were thinking about what name. Well, we already got the last name, so I thought, let's just call it the Greg. The Greg Koch. Done. What more do you need?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's spot on.
There it is. So, and people ask about the weight. Well, you lifted it up. It's not really that. It's not that bad.
No. Actually, that was the first thing about it. I mean, the looks, of course, is the actual first thing what you realize, because wow. But it's like, it's light.
Yeah.
You know, to the weight, it feels like a very compact combo.
Yeah.
Like a
exactly.
Like a bluesy combo, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you put your guitar over your shoulder, grab this thing, go into a gig, and you have to walk upstairs, you're not crying. One cable, because it's got
that's
everything.
Okay, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing gigs with my organ trio with my son and Toby, and because he's doing all the Leslie, you know, he's got a Leslie on board, you know, and you know, with obviously when he's playing a Hammond, so I haven't really been bringing many pedals anyway. I bring my triple gristle pedal that my buddy Tim Yarning makes for me, which has got an overdrive, a clean boost, and a fuzz. It's basically, it does, if I have to throw and go and grab whatever amp is there, it does what this amp does.
Yeah.
So being able to go in and have everything already on the amp, and then also have that glorious reverb, to be able to, and of course the harmonic vibrato, which is the best. And then to be able to go either wattage is really important too. Yeah. Because, you know, when you're playing in whatever venue in this day and age, I mean, it's so many people are so sensitive to volume. You know, oh my God, it's so loud. Like, really? People used to bring Marshall stacks in the clubs all the time.
Like, you know, the roof. Yeah.
But to be able to get that tone at that volume is a really awesome feature.
Yeah.
And the fact that you could run, you know, clean channel with pedals and do that thing, or just go straight into the amp and turn the thing up and turn the volume down on the guitar, channel switch, whatever you want to do, you can use it any number of different ways, and it just sounds glorious. It's going to be shown at in January at the NAMM show. Obviously, we're going to be out there kind of saying, hey! And then it's going to start shipping, so people can start getting them in March of 2018.
All right. And is this actually like, it's a prototype, but it's like...
But this is what it's going to be.
It's like what it's, okay.
Yeah. Right. And the speakers are Jensen's. Which I like to use anyway. In my Vibroluxes, I have the newer Jensens in there, and they were messing around with different speakers, and I played these, and I'm like, I like these. They sound good. So away we went.
No need to fix the running system.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And yeah, so I'm extraordinarily pleased. And I think it's, it's a unique beast. I can't think of any other amp that has all of this stuff on it.
Nope. Nope.
And so I think there's it's interesting. It's like people will own, multitudinous guitars, but then they'll have like 1 or 2 amps, which is strange to me.
Yeah.
But if you had to have 1 amp to gig with, or even stay at home with, I mean, this would do it. So I've been getting rid of amps because I know that this is coming home, and once it does,
they will just get all dusty and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point, because all the versatile amps, having all the channels and boosts and whatever what in it. The really versatile ones are the modern metal high gain oriented amps and brands.
Right.
Which is a total different story. So it's like not really, working together. There's like 2 different worlds.
Right.
And in this world, you will probably have all the reissue type amps, which have like max, a tremolo, and a reverb.
Right.
And like a channel.
Right.
Which is loud.
Yeah.
And if it's like way too loud, then it distorts.
Exactly.
Or you have like something which does like 2 of these features. But that's a very good point, actually.
Yes.
Like all these, so usable.
Exactly. And it has a glorious name.
It's the best name. I actually remember last time you were here, you had a chat with my colleague, with Oli.
Yes.
And I think he also asked like, hey Greg, you should really do a signature with Koch. And
yes!
like,
great minds think alike.
That's a good joke. And like, yeah, there you go.
And it happened.
And it worked out really good. Very nice. Okay, what's up with those little thingies?
Okay, so these pickups.